Quick announcement before we get into today's topic. Our new group coaching program, Superhero Hybrid Training, is about to launch. This is a 6-week program designed to get you fast results from building muscle to simultaneously dropping a ton of fat while laying the foundation for long-term success. So if you're interested, enrollment will be opening soon and will be limited to 50 people. Therefore, if you want to learn more but also have the chance to secure your spot in time, make sure that you click on the link below and subscribe to our superhero list. Today, I want to share with you the core method I've used in my gymless training journey, which not only has kept me injury-free and my workouts as short as possible, but has also gotten me pretty good results as a natural trainee and probably a more aesthetic physique than most guys who spend hours training in the gym year in and year out, even when all I used to do was bodyweight training. Something that, for the sake at least of today's video, I named the peak set method. That being said, before I dive into the peak set method, in order to make all that make sense, I want to start first of all by saying that despite all the modern hype and analysis by paralysis around strength training nowadays, the truth is that building muscle is simple, since especially during the first 2 to 3 years of your training, you only need to take advantage of two main principles which, if done right, can get you close to 80% of your max potential. These are, number one, training close to failure, or what is also called effective reps. In other words, whenever you are performing a set after you're done with your warm-up, you need to always reach a point where you don't have more than 3 reps in reserve with good form, since pushing past this threshold is required in order to generate enough intensity and recruit the muscle fibers that matter the most for hypertrophy. Number 2 is getting enough rep volume. After all, if training to failure alone was enough, you could simply do a few heavy sets of, let's say, 3 to 4 reps per exercise and call it a day. And while this could technically work, it would require way too many sets with long resting periods in order to match the total workload required, not to mention how it would also not be the most joint-friendly and long-term approach for most guys, especially past your mid-30s. So, in one sentence, the key to maximizing muscle growth is combining high intensity with enough exposure to that intensity, or to use an older term, enough time under tension. This is why 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 12 reps per exercise work so well, and why it has been the classic choice for hypertrophy most bodybuilders pick for close to a century now. The peak set method takes advantage of these principles, allowing you to maximize total reps across sets, but also train within those 0 to 3 reps in reserve consistently and without overtraining, thus also making consistent progress with it over time. In a nutshell, the goal of the peak set method is, number 1, leaving no more than 3 reps till technical failure on your early sets and resting enough to keep those reps fairly consistent against each other. And number 2, reaching complete technical failure only during your final set when your muscles, tendons, and joints are fully prepped and primed. Alright, so there was a lot of theory, so let's see how this looks more clearly in practice, keeping in mind that I'll be using a weighted backpack in order to make the numbers work.
I really like doing my push-ups here because there's a natural curve just behind the spot where you place your hands, and therefore you can go really deep without your chest blocking any range of motion without using grips.
So let's say you can do 13 push-ups using close to perfect form. You could start by doing 13 reps on your first set, going to failure from the very beginning, but this way not only would you increase injury rate on the very first set, but you'd also not benefit in terms of total rep volume, since the rest of your reps would fall apart way too soon, looking something like this. Whereas if you followed a more peak set method approach, your workout would look something like this.
So that was, I guess, 2 to 3 reps in reserve. Probably more like 3. Set 2. I already have a mild pump, a little bit of fatigue build up. So I'm guessing I'm gonna get 10 reps again, but reps in reserve will feel more like 1 to 2.
So training this way doesn't only allow me to get an extra rep or 2 of total volume, but most importantly, it also allows me to scale the intensity a lot more gradually, getting that peak stimulus during my last set when my body can handle it a lot safer, since this is when my neuromuscular system, my tendons, and my joints, once again, are at their most prepared and primed state. Also keep in mind that this approach becomes even more important as you become stronger, and you can therefore push your body harder, but also even more as you become older.
Pretty much.
So if, like me, you're no spring chicken anymore and you're closer to 40 than you are to 30, gradually increasing intensity across sets is key.
Okay, so set 3. Hopefully I'm gonna feel around 9 to 10 reps. Like if I can barely get 10 reps, that means that I pushed myself hard enough during the previous sets.
That being said, it is important here to distinguish that training close to failure is also a skill and something that you need to work on. Therefore, if you're a beginner, it is also something that you won't be good at. So if you've never worked with a coach before, or if you never had someone experienced spot you, what you consider as 1 to 3 reps in reserve will typically be more like 4 to 7 reps in reserve, which, as simple as it might sound, it is also why most guys are usually stuck in newbie gain purgatory.
I will say that is 0 reps still. Technical failure. Whew.
So how do you fix this? Ideally, you want a coach again, or someone experienced who can review your sets or video of your sets, as we like to do, and we'll be doing also in our upcoming Superhero Hybrid Training Bootcamp. Or if that's not an option for you, you can simply practice the following method. Start by picking a number of reps you can do relatively consistently across all your sets with good form and steady tempo. So let's say you're doing pull-ups and you set a goal of doing 3 sets of 7. If you're pushing yourself hard enough, you shouldn't be able to get an extra rep over 7, and that is the best case scenario, with proper form. This doesn't mean stopping the moment your reps slow down, as a lot of beginners do. Rather, you want to reach the point where time feels as if it's slowing down like a movie, and you can't gain another inch of range of motion with good form, even if you had a gun against your head and a pit of poisonous scorpions underneath your pull-up bar. That being said, if you're able to complete 3 sets of 7 reps this way, next time you train, aim for doing 2 sets of 7 reps and 1 set of 8 reps. When that's easy, go for 1 set of 7 reps and 2 sets of 8 reps, and so forth. Finally, it goes without saying that you need to write your reps down in order for this to work. I consider my notebook the most powerful piece of workout equipment anyone can have. So don't guesstimate, be meticulous, and every time you train, always compete against your previous notebook's log. Alright, so final thoughts. Keep in mind that most trainees instinctively hit their best set at the beginning, so training this way might feel unnatural at first, but if you stick to the peak set method, it will make more sense over time, and it will get you better and safer results, not only as you become more advanced, but also as you train past your 30s and 40s. Finally, if you're feeling stuck lately with getting your fitness going and you need a flashy carrot for your stick, something to pump you up, check out the link below to learn more about our Superhero Hybrid Training Bootcamp, which will be launching soon. Whether you're starting fresh or you're stuck at a plateau, this 6-week program will give you the structure and push you need to reignite your progress and carve your ideal physique. You get fast results and gain momentum and confidence as we help you lay the foundation for lasting habits. But keep in mind that seats are limited to 50 people, so make sure you check the description and top-in comment below. Subscribe to our superhero list to secure your spot and grab your free guide. And until next time, keep on training.